Good morning. I just wanted to record an overview for the portfolio project with the directions to provide more clarification on what the assignment should look like. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. So you do have a scenario. The scenario is that you are a teacher at a local preschool that serves a diverse population of students and families. You notice that many of your co-workers are unaware of the importance of learning more about contemporary family patterns, trends, and relationships across cultures, class, and ethnicities. You discuss your findings with the school director. You have been asked to create a PowerPoint presentation with a voiceover to share with coworkers to explore these family trends and analyze the connection amongst them. First, the presentation will examine current patterns, family patterns. So think about the current family patterns that you see within your community, what you see within your school or your educational program, and how changes over time have impacted the child. For example, if you have a child who's living with a grandparent, how has this change impacted the child? Also, if a child is living with an aunt or an extended family member, how has that change in the family impacted that child? Second, you will review the relationship with the family across different cultures that populate your community, which means that you are going to look within the community in which you live and look at the different cultures that are represented in your community. Third, you are going to examine how class can affect children and families. So this part, you're going to be defining social class. What does it look like? And then finally, you are going to consider how ethnicity impacts families. So the directions are as follows. Your presentation is broken up into sections. The sections will examine contemporary family trends, patterns, trends, and relationships across the cultures, class, and ethnicities. So please make sure that you are using the directions as well as the rubric as your guide. So you want to make sure that your slides are well organized, the font color and the size style are easy to read. Make sure that you are using the same fonts across all of your slides. It just looks more uniform. For example, if you are using a Time Romans font size 22 for your title, you want to make sure the title of each slide, you want to make sure that the title has the same font throughout. Just keep that in mind. Also, slides are in bullet point format and not written into long paragraphs. The point of the presentation is for you to hit the main points. So please keep that in mind. You can do at least 1 to 2, maybe 3 sentences, but you don't want to go into those long paragraphs. And then each bullet point highlights a main point or idea. The content for each of the slides is detailed in a deliverable description, and you have been provided the template to help you, and you can make that template your very own. Please keep in mind that you are going to be following the APA style. You should use notes in your PowerPoint presentation to help you with your oral presentation. And the notes section is at the bottom of the PowerPoint. You can just type your notes in there, so as you are doing your voiceover, you can read that. And then graphics should be included to enhance your presentation. So you can use graphics, or you can actually change your background to a different format, which will make your presentation more uniformed and look more professional. So now we get into the assignment broken down into weeks. So for week 2, you should have discussed family and family trends, meaning that your first slide should be your title slide. Second slide should be the definition of family. You can define family using a dictionary, using Google. It is just a definition of the family. You can define the family in so many different ways, but look at it from your point of view. What is your definition of a family? Slide 3 should examine the different family trends and family structures. So you should include single parent families, grandparents raising grandchildren, blended families. You can also include other families because there are different family trends and structures besides the ones that are identified. Slide 4, you should explain ways the family trends present in your community can impact student learning or the teacher-family relationship. So an example could be if you are Caucasian and you live in a primary Latino, Hispanic community, how could that impact teacher-family relationships? It could be that there's a language barrier between the teacher and the family. So there could be so many different things. It could be that parents' work schedules are busy. So just really think about looking at the community in which you live and what impacts that dynamic would have on the teacher-family relationship or student learning. What considerations should teachers make to ensure that they can connect with each family? And so include various schedules for events. So maybe have an event in the morning, have an event in the afternoon, having virtual events. Helping parents with volunteering in the classroom, or if a parent can't volunteer in the classroom, what is another option for them? And then week 4, you're going to be talking about family and class. So here you are going to work on your 4 additional slides. And so you are going to be using the hyperlink here in the directions. And then this is where you are going to understand your community in which you live. So when you do that, you're going to look at educational levels, income, and unemployment status. And so make sure as you are working on your PowerPoint that you are updating your reference page, because now this hyperlink, this website is now a reference, which you need to include. Slide 5 is going to be defining social class. What is social class? Don't be afraid to use the dictionary or to use Google to help you. Slide 6 should describe the connection between family and class. Consider how different social classes may view children or parenting. So think about how a middle class family would look or approach a family that is in a upper class. So think about that. Slide 7 should examine different social classes present in and around your community. So this is where you're going to look in your community and look and see what social classes are present in your community. Slide 8 should explain 3 ways that social class can impact student learning or the teacher-family relationship. Consider scheduling conflicts due to work schedules, no transportation, and no childcare. Week 5 is going to be culture and ethnicity. This again, you're going to be using the census website to help you understand the ethnicities and cultures around your community. So when you go to the top left-hand corner of your screen, where there's going to be a search bar, you're going to enter your zip code. Make sure that, again, you are adding this website to your references. Slide 9 should define culture and ethnicity. What does that look like? Also address the connection between family and culture. So considering a family who may be who is, Arabic, but also Muslim, understanding their culture and traditions that they may do in their family as well as their culture. Consider how different cultures view children and parenting, because each culture does view things totally different. And so that's important for you to identify. Slide 10 should examine at least 3 different cultures and ethnicities present within your community. Slide 11 should make the connection and explain 3 ways that culture and ethnicities will impact student learning or the teacher-family relationship. So, considering how language barriers can affect the relationship. Week 6, you're going to do your peer review discussion. This is where your PowerPoint presentation will be complete and where you will record your voice over your presentation. And this is an opportunity for your classmates as well as myself to give you some feedback. So each week you're going to be submitting your presentation to me in sections, and I am going to review those and give you feedback. And so some of the feedback that I was given in week 2 was just adding graphics, making your presentation pop. Or when it came to defining the family, how can we extend the definition a little bit more? Those were just some minor things. Overall, everybody did well. Some of the backgrounds and templates were great. If you don't know how to do that, reach out to me, because that's going to help you. So please reach out to me if you need help on how to change your background, or even how to add graphics if you want to use the white background. So make sure that once you have submitted your PowerPoint presentation in week 6 with your voiceovers, but you want to think about the clarity in your voice. Obviously making sure you are somewhere where people can hear you. You're speaking loud and a nice tone. Your spelling and grammar is correct, and that the content addresses the questions that are asked of you on the directions. And once you finalize your presentation, you are going to review 3 other presentations, and so you are going to share thoughts, suggestions, ideas that you think would be helpful for your peers. And then after you receive the feedback from your peers as well as myself, make any last changes. You want to make sure your presentation is great. And again, recording a voiceover is difficult. I record a video for you guys weekly, and I stumble and I make mistakes. So just make sure, if you don't get it right the first time, that you try again. Just try not to read the slide, just hit the bullet points. That's going to be helpful for you. And then week 7, you are going to submit your final portfolio project to your ePortfolio. And so again, this is where I'm going to be checking to see if you have taken the advice of myself and your peers? Did you make the corrections that needed to be made? Did you record your voiceover? Because if that voiceover is not there, then you are going to get counted off points. At least, I want to say 10 to 15. I don't have the rubric in front of me. So keep that in mind. In week 7.5, you're going to do your reflection, and this is where you are going to reflect on what you learned while completing your project. How is that going to help you with your personal and professional life? And then also how your project meets the program instructional outcomes. And then, of course, upload your reflection. And then lastly is just the rubric. So making sure that you are understanding that you want to be in the 20 to 25 point category. So make sure that you are paying attention to what is under the excellent column so you can get the maximum points. So that is a range, but just make sure you want to be closer to that 25 for your family and family trends, family and social class, ethnicity and culture. Then when it comes to spelling and mechanics, you want to make sure that you are within that 8 to 10 points. And then last, your voiceover. You want to have that voice over so you can be in that 13 to 15 point category. You will see if there is no voiceover, you get a 0. So if you do say a lot, like I've said it several times in here, then points will be taken off. So keep that in mind. And again, voiceovers, recording things are difficult. So just remember to breathe and pace yourself. It is very important. And then I will give you feedback at the end of your presentation. So I hope this helped you guys understand the portfolio project and how it is broken down in weeks. So if you did not do your presentation for week 2, there's still time. So start working on it. You're only going to do the sections indicated in the directions as well as under your week 2 assignment. So that is a total of 4 slides for week 2 that you should submit, and that's all I look at. And then again, week 4 is 4 slides. Week 5 is 3 slides. So I'm only looking at those particular things during the week and giving you the feedback because that's the focus. But anyway, I hope you guys have a great day, great weekend. Stay safe and be blessed. Bye-bye.